North Attleboro Community Television, North TV Sports presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from McGrath Stadium on the campus of Bishop Feehan High School, it's the Red Rocketeers taking on the Shamrocks, the 2017 edition. Welcome everyone, Peter Gay along with Jared Ware and Del Malloy. There's a shot. We're experiencing an earthquake here at McGrath Stadium. No, that's just a camera set up in the stands. Feel like we're in San Francisco, the A's and the Giants many years ago. Gary Doherty back at the helm of the Shamrocks. Guys, last week we saw North Attleboro, King Philip. We saw the two teams last year at Community Field. This year they were at KP. Last year we asked the question after a convincing KP win, is KP that good or is North that bad? We learned that it was KP was good, but North was also good. This year, Jared, we know both teams are good.
Yeah, and the question is this North Attleboro team this year as good as they were last year? Similar quarterback coming back, some new skill position players, some uncharacteristic mistakes last week, turnovers and penalties. We'll see how they adjust this week. I'm sure they spent the week in practice making sure those little mistakes are cleaned up coming into this one.
Yeah, practices take two forms. Mistakes because you try too hard, or mistakes because you just don't know. Knowing the quality of the coaching staff, I'd surmise that the North Attleboro mistakes were young men just simply trying too hard, and the coaches spent a good amount of time calming them down.
Bishop Feehan won the toss. They deferred their option until the second half. North Attleboro will therefore receive, and Feehan will be kicking off going right to left. Shamrocks, guys, there have been some lean years here at Holcott Drive. They opened up with a loss on the Cape to Falmouth last week. They're prohibitive underdogs tonight, but a win tonight would certainly be a huge boost to this program.
Yeah, this year is definitely a first step in a rebuild. They have a couple of sophomores starting, especially at quarterback Nick Norco, wide receiver Caleb Fourier, obviously with great bloodlines there. So they have some sophomores who this year are gaining varsity experience, and I believe down the road, a year or two from now, this matchup specifically is going to be a little more competitive.
Yeah, I also think we need to give them time. This is Coach Doherty's first year. I will say Bishop Feehan has more expatriates on their coaching staff than the Patriots have expatriates on their coaching staff. That's got to be a plus because these guys know the game inside and out and will certainly help these young players develop.
Christian Fourier is on the sideline and with a headset on, so he'll be communicating with the guys up top. Teddy Bruschi is out with the kicking team. Hard to believe he used to be a linebacker in the NFL.
Sometimes it's not size, sometimes it's determination and focus and heart. And I think that's what epitomized Bruschi as a player.
So the Shamrocks, as we mentioned, will kick off to start this game. Handling the chores for the Shamrocks will be William Lynch, a 5'7", 160-pound junior.
Yeah, in pregame, Lynch looks like he has a great leg on him. He's a lefty, a lot of power in there.
Back deep, Ryan Gommond, Brendan McHugh, 28-29, anything to confuse me more than I normally am. Short kick will be taken by one of the up men at the 23-yard line. On the return, Nathan Pierce. Only a return of about 5 yards. Red Rocketeers will start at their 27.
Yeah, short kick bounce to the first up man. A little confusion there as Pierce ran into one of his blockers, John Bradley. But we get a look at this offense early last week. The turnovers hurt them so badly in that game against King Philip. I expect this offense to be running a lot more smoothly than it did last week. This is a second start for a lot of these guys in the skill position and up front on the offensive line. So expect a better looking Red Rocketeers offense tonight.
Red Rocketeers overload the right side. Quick pass to the other side. Chad Peterson connects to Marion Bresco. Bresco will get all the way up to the 49-yard line, a pickup of 21 on the quick little slant.
Yep, off coverage, good throw there over the head of the linebacker who was sliding underneath. I think Bresco's a guy to watch in this offense. I think he is the most physically gifted wide receiver on this team and one of the most physically gifted players on the roster. Like to get him involved early and really help him grow into this season because he's playing a much bigger role this year than he did in the past.
Yeah, and I note Bishop Fee in tackling, they held out and went for a ride. They've got to take the guy down right then and there. That was too many extra yards.
Bresco, 3 receptions last week for a total of 51 yards. Run to the left side, trying to get around the corner is Ranieri. He does, all the way down to the 37-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 14. First running play results in 21. First passing play 21. First running play 14.
Yeah, Ranieri had himself a nice game last week against King Philip, had himself a couple catches here. He gets the carry. I think he's going to be one of the key players on this offense because every time he touched the ball last week, they were picking up chunk yardage, and he's already doing that here tonight.
Ranieri last week, 2 carries for no yards. Peterson under pressure will be thrown down. Ball comes loose. But the sack back at the 46-yard line will be a loss of 9 on the play.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Johnson wishes his quarterback got rid of the ball a little early. That was a long developing play, and sometimes you check it out of bounds and wait for the next play.
Peterson was sacked a total of 5 times last week for 33 yards. Slot to each side. Ranieri, the lone back. Jet sweep left side. On the carry is Pierce. Pierce has the penalty yardage, the yardage from the sack. I saw the penalty flag go down, and it's going to be a hold against the Red Rocketeers. Now, this, I believe, will be a spot foul, which would be the 44. So that would bring the ball back to the 46-yard line. And if that is indeed the case, it would be 14-22. So second down and 22 coming up.
Yeah. How would you like to be the offense going to the sideline? We've had a sack and a holding penalty in the first 4 plays.
And that's after 2 pretty good plays on their first 2 plays of this series, but there are a couple mistakes back-to-back for North Attleboro. Missed the holding in there. It might have been in the interior part of the offensive line. I wasn't sure if maybe it was on the exterior on that jet sweep there, but I didn't get a good look at it on the replay.
So second down and 22 for the Red Rocketeers. Shamrocks come with pressure. Ranieri wide open left side, breaks a tackle, will get back to the 46-yard line, so he gets the penalty yardage back. And it will be a third down now and a bundle, 3rd and 19.
Get what you can, make Fian tackle you. Sometimes you can break and pick up more than you were supposed to.
I'm just noticing, did they mark off that holding penalty as 15 yards? They did.
Yeah.
Play action. Peterson rolling right, has room if he wants to run. He will. And he will get down to the 36-yard line, so that will result in a 4th down and 9.
If Fian drops 7 into zone coverage, the first read wasn't open for Peterson, so he decides to tuck and run. This is the second time that I've seen Fian drop into zone coverage. Actually, the sack, they were in zone in the secondary as well. So they're really going to make Peterson work. They're going to test his game knowledge.
I was watching some of the North receivers. None of them peeled back. They just kept running the same route as he was scrambling out to the side. So I'm sure coaches will tell them, hey, when you see a quarterback scrambling, your route's not open, let's adjust.
And it's not just the quarterback, Peterson. Sometimes those receivers have to break their routes off, sit down in the soft spots in those zone to give Peterson a target to throw to.
Yep. The split to the far side for the Red Rocketeers is Omar Jessa. And we are going to have a timeout called by Bishop Fian before this big 4th down play.
Now this is a scenario where down a distance, 4th and 9 on the 36-yard line. We've seen Peterson punt out of the short shotgun set before. Coach Fourier and Coach Bruschi have seen that plenty of times before playing with the Patriots, so they're going to be aware that this might be a 4th and 9 attempt, but it also could be that pooch punt out of the shotgun.
Well, this will go a long way in showing how much respect the Red Rocketeer coaching staff has for Fian's offense.
A lot of sophomores on the Fian offense, including the quarterback. We'll want to see officially who takes the snap for Bishop Fian. Last week it was Nick Norco, a sophomore. So we'll see here, but I wouldn't be surprised if North goes with that pooch punt here. No one deep for Fian though.
Try to pin them back possible. Nope. Yeah, they will send it towards the corner, and my guess is they're going to spot that at about the 14. That's exactly where it will be. How about that for knowing an angle? Huh?
That is amazing.
So let me see. That'll go in the books as a 22-yard punt, no return. Peterson last week, 2 punts, averaged 22.25.
It's certainly not an outstanding punting average, but I think the stat that will really shine when Peterson punts is return yards.
The quarterback is Tim D'Ambrosia. Play action, rolling right, first pass is overthrown. Was intended for Joseph Castano.
Yeah, that's a kid who's hyped up right there. The man was open. He just didn't set his feet. Obviously, there was also a surge of adrenaline, so he just sails that first throw. But that could have been a big pickup on first down and really set this Fian offense rolling on the right foot.
It's like riding a 10-speed bike. If you keep it in 10th gear, bad things can happen. Pull it back to about 7th or 8th gear, and better things will go your way.
Shamrocks shifting to the far side. You see the tight end, Brendan Campbell, now in motion, sets up as a slot far side. Quarterback will keep it himself, and he will be thrown to the artificial turf. A loss of 1 on the play.
Get another good play by the Red Rocketeers run defense. Even stretching back to last week, this front 7 did a great job winning those battles against King Philip. And right there on second down, they won the battle up front against Fian.
I like how he contained the outside. He didn't let the quarterback get around him. Quarterback saw he couldn't go, stopped, and nothing more he could do.
And we have an equipment issue with D'Ambrosia's helmet. Now, unlike the NFL, they don't just hand you the backup helmet. Budget's not that high here at Bishop Fian.
They may not own a backup helmet.
And because there was a stoppage in play, Fian has to use a timeout. Now, they could opt to bring in a backup quarterback or their second quarterback. Not sure what Donnie Johnson is questioning there.
And probably some interpretation of that rule there. Totally different offense this year so far from Bishop Fian. Last year they played primarily out of the I formation and they ran the ball between the tackles. So far tonight they've been out of the gun and spreading out the North Attleboro defense.
Red Rocketeers come with the blitz. Pass was intended for Caleb Fourier. And not that it would have made a difference, but it looked like Fourier was being held on this play.
Yeah, we're going to get a good look right here. Handful of jersey there by Bresco. That's going to be a great matchup on the outside between Bresco and Fourier. Those are 2 big, physical, fast boys on the outside.
You know what? It's only a penalty if they call it.
That's right.
And usually when you see that jersey pulling away from the back of their shoulder pads, that's usually a hairpin trigger for the ref to throw the flag there, but Bresco got away with one there.
Or it's a hurricane.
Shamrocks punting the football away. Spot was the 14, will come down at the 41-yard line. So a punt of 27 yards.
Great starting field position for North Attleboro. So that Australian rules punt on their first possession ends up helping set up their field position here in their second possession.
Yeah, they're going to start just about where they left off.
And last week it was North Attleboro's defense who was given poor field position. So to already be winning the field position battle in this first quarter against Feehan is big.
Well, 2 incomplete passes, probably not accurately thrown, and a run stuff.
So 6:03 left first quarter. Red Rocketeers with the ball at the Feehan 41. A little deception results in a touchdown. Red Rocketeers going the distance. Brendan McHugh.
Dell, you mentioned tackling on the very first play of the game for North Attleboro, and right there by Bishop Feehan, they missed a couple tackles, one in the backfield that could have been a loss of 2, and then another one at the second level, which would have stopped it for a gain of 7 or 8, and this ends up being a touchdown. There's the first missed tackle, and this one is going to be the egregious one here. You have to make this play.
Yeah, they seem to be reaching instead of driving through the person they're trying to tackle. They're just reaching. I'm sure coach will fix that.
You know, that's one of those basics mistakes that you really can't have, and the coaching staff knows that, and they're going to emphasize that when they go back and watch the film. Just proper tackling technique. They were working on it in pregame for an extended period of time. I saw them working here on this near sideline. So they'll go back, they'll watch the film and say, hey, we got to make sure that we're wrapping up, we're driving through, and we're being physical on defense.
Yep.
Red Rocketeers called a timeout.
Probably thought about going for 2.
On to attempt the extra point, Jeff Wilson. Kick is up and it is no good, wide right.
You go back to the very first, or excuse me, you go
Here's
back to the
touchdown, guys.
So this play should be dead to rights there in the backfield. And then here at the second level, there's 3 Shamrocks surrounding him. None of the 3 wrap up and try and make a play there. One guy at one point tried to tackle him with the shoulder, got to wrap up, drive through him, make a tackle there. It would have been a big gain, and you would have been in tough field position after that, but you wouldn't be down 7 or 6-0.
Yeah, this is where coaching's so critical. You can get all over the guys, but it's better to just write it down and fix it next practice, so that they know you've got their back, you're behind them, but they gotta get this squared away.
They looked like they were playing flag football.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reaching, but I don't want to get hit.
Well, my granddaughter's playing flag tonight at 8 o'clock at the Y.
Is she? What kind of grandpa are you?
A proud one.
You should be there supporting her. I know one thing. You'll hear all about it. Probably when you get home, right? Or on the way home.
Yeah, I will.
Will it be your son-in-law or daughter who calls? Red Rocketeers kicking off. It's a good one. It will come down to the 5-yard line. Thomas Rassicott the return. Rassicott up across the 37-yard line.
Well, something to cheer about. That's a great way to answer that first touchdown by North.
There's some great blocks here in front of Rassicott to give him a lane to slide through. Puts them in pretty decent field position to start their second possession.
And North with a couple of reach tackle efforts.
There were some opportunities the first time Feehan had the ball, so they'd like to create some of those matchups on the outside and at least execute on those plays.
Sweep right side on the carry. Seamus Cochran. Cochran will pick up. It will be a pickup of 7 on the play. His first carry.
A great pursuit from the linebackers for North Attleboro here, attacking this play from inside to out, coming across and making the play. It's going to be tough to beat this North Attleboro defense on the ground going east and west. You really have to be able to win the physical battle up front and run the ball north and south, which is a tough task for this Feehan roster in general. It's just so much smaller than North Attleboro.
Yeah.
Second down.